Welcome back, everyone. It is time. Milena versus Kreuz. Predictions are live. Get them in now. Will Milena continue the absurd streak of dominance that we were seeing yesterday? I mean, she did win. She played against Croitz just yesterday. She did win that set, but Croitz being the player that he is, it's really, really hard to count him out. I mean, especially watching the set that transpired, because he did have an advantage for a good portion of it, with Milena really clutching up in the end. So, while we do, while Milena could probably be favored, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. And yeah, now think about it now. This is the exact map that they played on yesterday. Just happens to be the same map for winners round 1 and what, round 3, round 4 of the Swiss. Nothing crazy built so far. It looks to me like they're placing things, just trying to set up for some future builds. Not really trying to win now. Okay, both opting for arrows. But where is it gonna be? In my experience, I know that Kreuz really likes staggered arrow setups. So I'm almost surprised we're not seeing him place it. Oh, wow. Okay, wait. Opting to just block what Milena had done. I wonder what the game plan is here. Okay, so Kreuz really trying to control this building style that gets through. Originally, he places those wires to just block the arrow. He uses the second arrow to block Milena's arrow. He bombs the flower. It looks to me like Kreuz really wants to place some precision. I think maybe he understands from the match yesterday, he started winning when the precision was being placed. And as soon as the match became about something else, that's when Milena took the lead. So an aggressive building style early on, I mean, I'm really happy to see that coming from Croitz. I think a lot of the time my complaints come from the fact that I think he's not aggressive enough. So this is great to see. Okay, wait. What? Oh, great build by Kreuz. Great build by Kreuz. We'll see how good Milena is when it comes to terry jumps, but I know for a fact that Kreuz loves his terry jumps. Yep, first tries it. Milena, though, still no issue with it. Even so, there's a lot of potential to set up something else there to just maintain that advantage. I see a couple really good potential wire placements for Kreuz. Not sure if I was Milena what my building strategy would be right now. I think I'll have to defer to the expert on this one. And Milena can't really think of anything there. But, an arrow, 2 black holes, she certainly has a lot of potentially good choices here. We'll see if she does anything with the arrow. I like that idea, giving more room to set up at the end. Kreuz recognizes that setup, while advantageous, probably wasn't enough. So this NST is kind of perfect for him, but still, Milena looking so clean. Kreuz trying to take every advantage he could possibly get. Honestly, I kind of love seeing that side of the game sometimes. Okay, yep. Kreuz really honing in on what he wants to build now. Milena, I see some potential with that spring there, maybe next to the flower. She doesn't want to go for it. Interesting. Okay, this time, not quite so easy. I mean, just seeing the wires there makes this setup feel so scary. Milena down 2 lives, and this is difficult enough that this could genuinely be an early point here. Okay, wait, all eyes on Milena. This is her last life. She does make it through. She does make it through, but she has the rest of the map. We'll see if anything here is enough to cause her trouble. Kreuz definitely wanting to wait and camp it out with that flower a bit. Honestly, it's so difficult. It's so difficult watching this because I have enough desync. I don't know if Croitz is actually coming close to getting rid of the flower, but it wasn't going to do it. Milena holding on. But now Croitz has a spike ball, and Milena is in a position where she probably wants to counter build against Croitz. I'd be careful, Kreuz. You gotta remember, you know, Milena is trying to counter build against you. That's your opportunity. You have free, you know, you can build whatever you want. And you have a spike ball. You're the spike ball guy, Kreuz. I think that spike ball was a little bit too passive for my tastes. Though, a lot of potential there. We'll see if that ends up becoming a wired corner jump. Oh, wow. Okay, wait. Kreuz practicing the apple jump a little bit. Not something you see too often. Every day I wake up thankful that the app jump is not more popular than it is. Because as a commentator, I'm just trying to imagine what my life would be like if I regularly had to try and pronounce app. Probably probably the worst name tech out there. Okay, Kreuz, from what we've seen so far, really likes doing these wall jumps between the two spike balls. Oh, beautiful wire placement. Kreuz really thinking about which side he wants to do it. Depending on which side you put the wires on here, the leniency of the timing for this setup really changes. I think Kreuz went with a more difficult option. We'll have to see. Okay, both of them down a life on this first setup. We'll see if Kreuz gets it here. Okay, hold on. As soon as you die to a setup like this more than once, like, that's when the pressure starts to sit in. That's when, it really becomes possible to just lose all your lives right at the start. And yeah, you can see it. You can see Kreuz is really playing with a lot of nerves. Because he knows if he messes this up, it's very possible that he just, loses a point. Thankfully for Kreuz, though, Milena dies to the flower. Maybe that'll ease the nerves here a bit. Okay, and Kreuz loses all of his lives to it. You know, for those that remember, this is more or less the exact setup that was super useful for Morphin. Sorry, for Kreuz against Morphin in Ignition. He kind of popularized the method used for this, so to see him dying to it as many times as he is a little bit rough. Milena, no problem getting through it. Granted, the flower setup has been causing her quite a bit of grief. If she can get through it, I mean, that'll be a massive early advantage, but it's difficult. It is surely very difficult. And the time is ticking. You gotta go for it now. Not gonna do it. Now, wait a minute. Kreuz blocking that off. If he recognized that you can block that off, why didn't he just take the easier path last round? Little curious on that one. Is that? I don't think that would be a legal setup. Pretty certain that forced spike ball jumps are not legal. Okay, this first setup really starting to shape up now. Okay, Kreuz threw it, no problem. Already a better look than the last round. And it all kind of comes down to this flower setup, because even though Milena made it 3 times, she was not able to get it once. So if Kreuz can get through this, set the pace early, that would be huge. Milena still, of course, being as good as she is, has the opportunity to adapt. Not gonna get that flower. That flower was so perfect by Kreuz. You know, all that extra time he spent deliberating, trying to figure out which side the wire should go on, was clearly well worth it, because Croitz now threw it. Milena onto the last 2 lives. This could be a scoring opportunity. Okay, Milena gonna have another try at it here. Not gonna do it. Milena going too low again. So the big thing that I'm seeing is that maybe Milena doesn't realize, I don't know how familiar she is with this setup, but if you opt, like, you can get through that setup with either a full jump height, or you can opt to use a smaller one. And not everyone knows about this, but if you use the smaller jump height, it does give you a much better angle. You just have more leniency getting through. So I see Milena dying to that bottom spike ball. That kind of implies to me that she's trying to go for the full jump height, and she does again. Croitz gonna go up 1-0. Oh wow, and only 3 turns left already. The game kind of flashed before me. Milena with an arrow has a lot of potential, but if I'm her, I'm kind of looking at that flower setup and thinking, how can I possibly counter build this? I like the idea, especially against Croitz. He doesn't love his timing setups. And if Milena places... Yep, I see it. I see it. But I think Croitz does as well. Does he even want to deal with that? Instead, I guess just going to get rid of that extra timing at the beginning. Not necessarily a bad idea. I mean, when you already have the advantage in the end section of the map, you know, it might be better to shape things up early on for yourself instead. Again, Milena really struggling to get through that. I know for sure that she is fine doing 1 block and even 1 frame jumps. So I think this might be a knowledge gap. Might be a knowledge gap on that setup. Kreuz coming really close. Feels a little bit too high with that jump height. Oh, and that is a really rough death for Milena. I mean, when you're struggling as much as you are with that flower, dying, you know, before you even get the opportunity to try it is rough. That's like, you know, kicking someone while they're down. And Croitz again gets through it. With Milena only having 1 life, this again could be a scoring opportunity. Croitz does get the flag. Time is ticking. Let's see. Can you adapt, Milena? Not gonna do it. And Croitz up 2-0, 2 turns left. This is Croitz's game to lose. Oh wow, is Kreuz gonna make it that difficult? Maybe can't decide what he wants there. Okay, Milena. Not really many good items in the box, but this one really, you gotta make it count. Yep, that was the correct decision. You know, when you're struggling so much with one setup, at a certain point, you gotta be willing to just axe it. Get rid of it. Oh, really rough death from Milena there. If Kreuz makes it here, that is the game, and that's gonna do it. Croitz wins it. That's gonna be 3-0. Now, after yesterday's showing, that is definitely a bit of a rough one for Milena. But given how good we now know she is, I mean, I could fully see a big losers run coming in here.